Have you ever wondered what could possibly be wrong with living in the land of kangaroos and koalas, the beautiful Australia? Often hailed as a paradise on Earth, Australia is known for its sun-kissed beaches, unique wildlife, and laid-back lifestyle. But behind the picture-perfect postcards, there's a downside to the Down Under that's often overlooked. Today we're going to peel back the layers of the Australian dream and reveal the top 7 challenges that come with life in Australia. From the infamous drinking culture to the high cost of living, from its geographical isolation that puts it far away from the rest of the world, to the perception that it's a bit behind the times compared to other developed nations. Each of these aspects offers a different perspective on what it really means to live in Australia. So let's dive in and explore what makes life a bit tough in Australia. First on our list is the prevalent drinking culture in Australia. Now, it's not uncommon for social activities to revolve around a drink or two in many cultures, but in Australia, it's often taken to a whole new level. Aussies are known for their love of beer, wine and spirits, and social gatherings, sports events, or even a casual barbie at home often come with an unspoken expectation to drink. This pressure to partake can be overwhelming for some, especially those who prefer to abstain or drink in moderation. It's not just about individual preferences either. The health implications of excessive drinking are well documented, with risks ranging from liver disease to mental health issues. There are also social implications such as potential strain on relationships and the risk of alcohol-fueled violence. So, the drinking culture in Australia may not be everyone's cup of tea, or should we say, pint of beer. Next up, we have the high cost of living. Australia, known for its stunning landscapes and unique wildlife, also holds a reputation for being quite pricey. From a cup of coffee in Melbourne to a beachside apartment in Sydney, getting by in the land down under can be a costly affair. Dining out, groceries, utilities, they all come with a hefty price tag. Let's talk property. The cost of renting in Australia is 36% higher on average than it is in the US. The housing market in Australia is one of the most expensive in the world. Renting or buying, both can leave you with a significantly lighter wallet. Compared to the average income and cost of living in other countries, Australia certainly stands out. While Australians do enjoy a relatively high minimum wage, the cost of living can still be a challenge, especially for those on a single income or raising a family. Therefore, living in Australia can certainly take a toll on your pocket. Third on our list is the isolation of Australia from the rest of the world. Let's face it, Australia is a long way from most of the other countries. It's tucked away down under, surrounded by oceans, making international travel a bit of a task. This distance can be a real bummer, especially when it comes to maintaining relationships with family and friends abroad. Picture this, you're in Sydney and want to visit your friend in New York. That's a whopping 20+ hour flight, not including layovers. And let's not forget the jet lag that comes with such long-haul flights. The same goes for international business relationships. The time difference can make coordination and communication a challenge. This isolation also means that importing goods can be expensive and time-consuming, which can also impact the cost of living, which we already mentioned. So if you're not a fan of long-haul flights, Australia might not be for you. Fourth, we have the perception that Australia is a bit behind the times. Being nestled in the southern hemisphere, far from the hustle and bustle of the world's major continents, Australia sometimes feels a touch disconnected from global happenings. This geographical isolation, coupled with its distinctive time zone, can make it challenging for Aussies to keep abreast of global events and trends as they unfold. Moreover, when it comes to entertainment and tech advancements, Australia often experiences a delay. Whether it's the newest smartphone or the most recent fashion trends, Australians often have to wait a bit longer than the rest of the world. In fact, Australia was one of the last countries to be introduced to Netflix along with New Zealand. This lag, while not a major inconvenience, can feel a tad frustrating for those who like to stay ahead of the curve. So, if you're a tech geek or a trendsetter, you might find Australia a bit slow-paced. Now that we've explored the top 4 worst things about living in Australia, let's quickly recap. Australia, the land of sun, surf and sand, is also a country with a few less than perfect attributes. One of these is the pervasive drinking culture. Australians love their beer and wine, and social events often revolve around these beverages. While this might be a draw for some, for others it can lead to a feeling of exclusion if they don't partake, or even to struggles with alcohol misuse. Then, there's the high cost of living. Australia is a beautiful place to live, but that beauty comes with a price. From housing to groceries, you'll find that your dollar doesn't stretch as far as it might in other parts of the world. This can make budgeting a challenge and force some to make tough choices about their lifestyle. The geographical isolation of Australia is another factor that some find challenging. With the nearest countries several hours away by plane, international travel can be expensive and time-consuming. This can lead to feelings of isolation and make it difficult for expats to visit family and friends back home. Finally, there's the perception that Australia is behind the times. In some ways this can be a positive, offering a slower, more relaxed pace of life. However, it can also mean that certain technological advancements and cultural shifts take a bit longer to reach down under, which can be frustrating for those accustomed to a faster pace. While Australia is indeed a beautiful country with lots to offer, these factors can make life a bit challenging for some. However, it's always about perspective, isn't it? What's a con for one might be a pro for another. So, pack your bags, mate, and come find out for yourself.